It would be pretty convenient if we could just turn our fat into muscle. Well, sorry to break it to you, but you can, so in fact it is pretty convenient. It's great, so do it! Coach Greg, in today's video, can you turn fat into muscle? Well, I came across a post by Adam P. Few or Adam Pfaw or Adam Paw. He has 1.3 million followers on Instagram, and he posted, "Fat to muscle, is it possible?" Well, let's see what he says. No, it is not possible. Really? Really? Why not? Let's see what he says. This is muscle, this is fat. These are separate tissues which cannot be turned into the other. That is not an argument against it. If I eat chicken, broccoli, and rice, I can turn that into fat or muscle, or both. And I'm pretty sure that chicken, broccoli, and rice looks a lot different than muscle tissue or fat. So just because they don't look the same doesn't mean you can't turn one into the other. To build muscle, you need three things, three main components: water, protein, and energy. And guess where you can get the energy from? Fat. That's right, stored body fat can be used to build muscle. Along with protein and water, you can use the fat stores from your body to build muscle, which is why you can build muscle in a deficit. A lot of people think you can't, but of course you can. Those people, they're just morons. That's okay. They might watch this video and learn. And actually, I've covered this in the past, how muscle is built, as well as a short, how muscle is built. Kept it real simple. You can watch those videos and learn how muscle is built. But don't worry, to gain muscle, eat in a calorie surplus. And to lose fat, eat in a calorie deficit. So the problem with this is people are going to see this post and they're going to think, well, I want to build muscle. Who doesn't want to build muscle? Most people want to build muscle. So all these people are going to think, well, I want to build muscle, so I'm going to now eat in a surplus. And when people think about eating a surplus, they're thinking about bulking, eating a lot of food, extra calories, because we need all those extra calories to build muscle. You don't. You can literally use the fat stores from your body to build the muscle. You don't need the surplus. So my advice, my recommendation is that if you're overweight or obese and you want to lose weight, you can build muscle while dieting by being in a small deficit. Your body will use the fat stores for the energy that is required to build the muscle, along with the protein and water that you're consuming. However, if you're too lean, you're too shredded, yeah, probably a good idea to eat in a surplus because you don't want to use the fat stores. You hardly have any in the first place. If you're 6% body fat, you eat in a deficit, it's going to be hard to build muscle. There's not a lot of fat remaining, not a lot of energy in the body. And if you're happy with your body fat percentage, eat to maintain the same body fat percent. Maybe 30 calories a day above maintenance is required to build the muscle that you need. Maybe. It's such a small amount, you can't even track it. Do you think that the average person, or frankly anyone, can calculate their energy output for a day accurate to within 30 calories? Some days I burn 3,500, some days 2,500, some days 4,500. You don't know. Even if you do the same exact activities every single day, you might burn more or less calories one day because you fidget more. Neat. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is going to vary day to day. You don't know, so just eat to maintain the same body fat percentage. If it goes down a little bit, eat more. If it goes up a little bit, eat less. It really is that simple. Conclusion. Although you can't turn fat into muscle, you will improve your overall body composition by burning fat and building muscle. However, unless you're a beginner, doing both simultaneously is nearly impossible. So you should focus on one at a time. Bad advice. So he's saying, unless you're a complete beginner, you probably can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Wrong. Did you even talk about PDs? Unless you're a beginner. You could be an advanced natural athlete training 10 years, Jeff Nippard. He could go on a cycle and diet hard and build muscle at the same time. How do I know for sure? Because I freaking did it myself. I did it. I went on a cycle after I was natural and I built muscle while cutting. So of course you can do it, and it's not just for beginners. You really think that a 300-pound person needs to eat a surplus to build muscle? Or, I'm 400 pounds, I should just diet for a while. I'll build muscle a couple of years after I lose the weight. Does that make sense? Do one or the other? No! Do them both simultaneously, and how? By not over-dieting. Don't overly restrict calories. Gone should be the days where people starve themselves 1,000, 2,000 calorie deficits. You do that, you won't put on the muscle. It would be pretty convenient if we could just turn our fat into muscle. Well, sorry to break it to you, but you can, so in fact it is pretty convenient. It's great, so do it. Unfortunately, we can't. So rather than saying that, scratch that and say, thankfully, we can. Get Coach Greg's freaking cookbook, eat a slight deficit while enjoying your diet that you can follow for the rest of your life, and slowly lose the fat while building the muscle. Muscle and fat are completely separate tissues that don't transform into one another. I already talked about it. The chicken, broccoli, and rice, or protein brownies, popcorn, French toast, all those items, they don't look like muscle tissue and they don't look like fat either. Yet when you eat it, your body can turn it into protein or turn it into fat or both, and you can store fat or burn fat if you're in a deficit or a surplus, and you can make muscle or tear it down depending on whether you're in an anabolic or catabolic state. So obviously to build muscle, you need a training stimulus, a reason for that muscle to grow, to get bigger. It has to want it. So what you do, you train, and then you go and train again, and you train harder than last time, and you slowly will build muscle over time. That is how it works. That fat did not turn into muscle. You simply created new muscle tissue and shrunk your fat cells as well. But the shrunken fat cells were the reason you got the energy to build the muscle. So technically, the fat did in fact turn into muscle. It gave the energy required to build that muscle. I mean, think of it. Everything we eat turns into our body tissue and it doesn't look the same. How do you think bones, skin, your organs, your brain, everything turned into that, and it came from food? The food turned into everything that you see and feel in your body. It turned into it. Doesn't look the same, but it made it there somehow. So in conclusion, can you turn fat into muscle? Well, I'm here to say you can. But what is the point really to say fat to muscle, is it possible, and to say no? Why would he say that? The reason is he's trying to promote that you need to be in a surplus to build muscle. That it's not a good idea to do both at the same time. That unless you're a complete beginner, it's probably not going to work for you. I'm here to tell you that not only is it possible, it's actually likely to occur. The problem is people are over dieting. They're trying to get their dream physique too quickly rather than taking your time. Lose the weight slower than last time, lift weights, progressive overload, train harder than last time, eat a proper healthy diet, 4 to 5 meals a day with protein, and you too can build muscle and burn fat at the same time. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. Don't forget to at least watch one of the bloops and get at least one of the freaking cookbooks. You need a cookbook. Well, you don't need it. You want one. I hope you want one. Get a book. Hire me and my team for training plans, coaching plans, all that stuff. Also have training books. And until next time, I am out. Oh, this house.